Brace yourself. It's normal, but there's a trick. Get that blow dryer, boo. A little bit of alcohol, just to dab it on there and blow dry it with that cool setting, boo. Girl, you in there like swimwear. I done put you on to something. Thank me later. What's up, y'all? It's your girl, Ginger, and you are officially in the Gingerhood. So, as promised, I am going to go in a little bit about my postpartum, how was my labor, what I went through a little bit. I'm not going to go through the whole story because it's really about postpartum. But in order for you to understand all my stuff, I got to tell you about it. So, as most of you know, I gave birth to my daughter December 23rd. So it is February. What the calendar say? 4th, I think. So I am 1 month and a week postpartum. 1 month and 1 week postpartum. And so far everything is okay. You know, it's gotten way better. But let me just tell you a little bit about my story. And I'm giving you the TMI, okay? So brace yourself. But I will warn you when the TMI comes. So as most of you know, this is my 7th daughter. I had one C-section before with my 6th daughter, and this made my 2nd. I was scheduled for a C-section on the 23rd of December, but that was based on if I didn't go in labor on my own. They didn't, they was not going to let me go past 40 weeks, and then they said that, what else? That was like the main thing, but health-wise, I was perfectly fine. And mind you, those laws are only in the United States, but I'm gonna leave that right there. Anywho, but I went in labor on my own on the 22nd. So the 22nd, I went to my prenatal appointment. I was scheduled to be there at 9:30. I was there at 9:30. I only ate one piece of a Pop-Tart, and when I got there, they checked my cervix. She was head down. And I was dilated some. So they were like, hey, let's get this ball rolling. We're going to send you over, blah, blah, blah. So I went over, went home, got my bag, went over to the labor and delivery ward and started the process. We ended up having a C-section because, even though I was progressing, I wasn't progressing fast enough, and her heart rate started dipping a little bit. It wasn't enough that it caused alarm just yet, but I was in labor since like the 22nd, technically, within the hospital, and it was already the 23rd. I didn't eat anything. I was hungry. I know, and my baby more than likely was stressed and ready to come out, and I was ready to meet her. So when my doctor came in, it was like, listen, you have a choice. We're not alarmed yet, but we can go A or B. I was like, give me B all day, and if you need me to help you cut, I will help you cut, okay? So at that point, I was more than happy to get rolled on out of that room and into the operating room to see my baby and to just be over the whole process at that time, okay? So the cesarean went well, baby was healthy, I'm healthy, all is great, okay? So I get rolled into my room, and I say about maybe 4 or 5 hours after delivery, and she was born at 2:30, I think 2:33 or 2:32 that afternoon on the 23rd. So about, 3 or 4 hours later, I would say, I started getting this itch, and not an itch down there, like an itch all over my body, okay? I've never had this happen before. I didn't know where it came from. And I'm the type of person where if I'm in a certain space, and if I start to itch, I don't feel like the space is clean. So that kind of ruined my hospital stay just a little bit. Because I started itching, and so I started thinking the room was dirty. I kept having them change my sheets, and I started spraying my alcohol, and I just kept having them come in and change stuff out because I felt dirty. And the nurse explained to me, well, it's a side effect from the epidural wearing off. Nobody never told me that. Like, I know we're supposed to read all the side effects when you sign the paper, but I didn't read itching. When I tell you I itched so bad that I scratched the skin off of my body. I had sores on my body from scratching. It was so horrible. I was like, as a new mom, to a new baby, I couldn't even focus on nursing my baby. Like, I couldn't even focus on like feeding her. Of course I was doing it. It was just so uncomfortable. The itching on my back, my butt cheeks. It was just so much itching. Like I said, I was literally scratching the skin off of my body. So the nurse came and she gave me some Benadryl. The Benadryl did work for, I say, about maybe an hour or two. After that, like, the itching did not stop. It came back, and it came back full force. So she said the only thing that they could do at this point is give me a medication that's going to reverse the anesthesia. So in my head, and then she was telling me, well, since you've had the cesarean, you've been out of the OR, whatever the case may be, you should, you're going to feel some pain, but you should be okay. Like, so I'm thinking like, okay, anything is better than this itching. That's what I thought. I know it sounds retarded as hell, but to itch the way I itched, I was like, okay, she's saying the worst part is pretty much over, meaning like, I've already gotten up out the bed. I've moved around a little bit. I mean, so I'm like, okay, give me that. Because I can't, at least with the pain, I could take some pain medication and be done with it. But this itching, I'm telling you, I could not take it. If you have experienced this itching, please leave a comment below so other people can see, like, I'm not tripping. This is not for play, like, or if you heard of it. This itching is no joke. So they gave me the medication, which is through an IV. And she said, just give it a few minutes and it'll start working. Boy, oh boy, did it start working. Like, the itching was completely gone. I was able to function for the most part, but I was in pain, okay? I was in pain. So for me, it was just like, okay, you know what I'm saying? I knew I said, give me this over that. But now, because I don't like taking a whole bunch of medication, so where I was only taking the ibuprofen that they would come in and give me, now I was like, Percocet, please. So now I had to take the Percocet and the ibuprofen to get this pain under control because I could not move. But I could not take that itching. So that part of the experience, was kind of icky for me. Also, the itching just made me feel like my room was extremely dirty, and I know they were tired of me asking them to come change the sheets, and I was asking them to swap stuff out, and can housekeeping come? Like, I know I drove them crazy, but it was because of the itching. I just felt like everything was dirty. So that kind of not ruined, but it kind of gave me an about my hospital experience this go round. But the best part is we were healthy and I had a healthy baby. That's what really mattered. So that's what I kind of went through in the hospital. And then it was really hard for me, and I didn't experience this the first time I had a C-section, but this time, like, it was just kind of, and I think it was because I had to get the epidural removal. Whatever the medication was, they said it reversed the epidural. So the pain was way different. And so it was hard for me to kind of get up and, like, sit up on my own. Like, I listen to people who talk about having a tummy tuck, and I think that's how I felt. I never had one, but I feel like that's how it felt. So she had to give me, she went and got me an abdominal binder, which is this right here. It came in this, and this is what it looks like. And I wrapped it around my back and my stomach to help support me, as I, lift up as best as I can to get out of the bed and things like that. So this is what I had to use, the abdominal binder. So if you're getting a C-section and you are and you experience pain, or even if you don't and you just want to have it, request one. You can get one. My insurance covered it. I think most insurances cover an abdominal binder because it's a part of your aftercare. Just request one just in case. So yes, I had to use the abdominal binder. And then for the extreme itching, because like I told you, I literally scratched the skin off of my body. You would have thought like I had bed sores. They gave me tubes of this Vaseline. So I did use this Vaseline. I had to put it on my body and stuff. Like, it was just, oh my God, it was horrific, okay? It was horrible. But, I mean, they fixed it with that medication. It was just pain. So that was the part that I was just like, oh my God, that part of the experience was a little sucky, okay? So now I'm going to talk about my postpartum and everything that I have to deal with postpartum. So in the hospital, as you see in what's in my hospital bag, I talked about a lot of the things the hospital would give you. The hospital I gave birth in, they give you a bag of these. So I had like 2 or 3 bags of these, and I was able to bring them home. And these are the jumbo size pads that are like a mattress. But these come in handy. I was able to use these this, you would definitely, well, I don't want to say definitely, because again, everybody is different. When I had my cesarean, I didn't bleed a whole lot this go around. I didn't bleed the last time either, but I was able to use these. I was glad to have them. It just gives you the comfort, because you never know when a big gush might come out. You just don't know. So these did give me great comfort. They're ginormous. So yeah, these gave me great comfort. And they gave me 2 bags of these, and this is the last of the first bag. I still have another bag left. So those come in handy. And again, if the hospital have it, take it. Pack it up, take it, okay? Also, in the hospital, they use these as well, which is a bed pad. But let me show you what they do with these. So the hospital I gave birth at, they give you these, but they kind of make like some type of pad out of it. So they fold it like this, and they place the pad on it, and they put the pad in the middle. So it was like, let me just show you. It was just too much. So let's just say you have 2 of these. Let me just fold it to make it 2. But it would be 2 separate ones, okay? But I'm going to, for time's sake. So you have 2 of these, and the pad was like in the middle, and you put this in your underwear. Like, that was just too much. Like, oh my God. So imagine having this on, and you know this is plastic, and that's plastic, and you're itching, okay? You're sweating and you're itching. So yeah, so this is how they did it in the hospital, and I'm quite sure it worked for it will work. I'm not saying it don't work. It was just super uncomfortable, but this is how they did it in the hospital. I didn't do that when I came home. I did, however, put the pads down on my bed, because when you first have a baby, you will also, well, most people, I don't want to say you, because everybody is different, and that's what I learned. A lot of these videos were like, oh, you're going to do this, you're going to do that. Everybody is different. But when you have a baby, most people do sweat after you give birth, because you got to think about it. It's a lot of water retention. So your body is releasing that extra water and extra fluid. And I'm one of those people, especially because I drink more than a gallon of water throughout my pregnancy every single day. And then even after, like now, I'm still drinking like a gallon of water or so a day. That's just to help keep my weight under control. I believe in snapping back, okay, after you had them babies. And that's the best way to do it, is to drink tons of water. So I did have these, and I put, like I said, I do put these on my bed. They came in packs like this. And I have several packs that I brought home from the hospital. So, and I still have some left, because I really didn't use them too much. Also, I bought some of these myself. These are the Always, I thought they were Depends, but they're not. They're Always Discreet, the boutique edition. So I did get some of these, and they're just like the black Depend. And it looks like this. This is what it looks like. And I got the black ones. So it looks like that. And I did use these because I would rotate. I wouldn't always just use the pad. Sometimes I would put one of these on instead. I would rotate, just, you know, I don't know, you just want to feel fresh. You don't want to always just feel the same. And the hospital gave me bags of these. And this is what it looks like from the hospital where I gave birth. And these are the knit panties. And of course I bought these home. So this is what they look like. And I use these in the hospital. And yes, I did use these home. And I still have another bag left. So these did come in handy. Again, this is what I tell people. Do not waste money taking all this extra panties and stuff to the hospital. They will give you these things. You can use them at home. Now, when you come home, most people, like I said, have to use the larger pad. Now, as your days progress and you go through your days, you will downgrade. You will not always have to have the big old ginormous air mattress between your legs, okay? You will be able to downsize. If you're bleeding heavily, your time will come when you will downsize. I downsized, but it wasn't to that great of a difference. But let me show you what I downsized to. I have these, and these are, if I'm not mistaken, I think these are Amazon brand pads, because I buy them in bulk. have a bunch of girls. So, but anyway, this is what it looks like. And this is just a little more sleek and is not as wide as that other one. The other one works great too, but I did start using these at some point. These are front to back coverage as well. And it was just less of width, you know, but if you're bleeding extremely heavy and you don't know where it's going to come from, then you may want the Air mattress one. But I like these. I did downgrade to these at some point. And then once... And I used those until my bleeding stopped. I didn't really, because I was home. I didn't go anywhere. If I did go somewhere, I would put on a smaller regular size pad, but I never downgraded to panty liners. Like once the bleeding was done, the bleeding was done. And for me, my bleeding stopped at my fourth week postpartum. That's when my bleeding stopped. But I didn't have heavy bleeding. Like my bleeding was medium, like moderate, I guess. It wasn't like, you know, oh my god, what am I doing? It wasn't running over. Like I was good, you know. So everybody again is different, okay? Now then I'm gonna go over this and I'm gonna tell you the TMI parts. This is the peri bottle that the hospital provides you with. I did use this in the hospital. As you will see in my What's in My Hospital Bag video, I explained why I chose to use the hospital one, because it works perfectly fine. You fill it up and you squeeze away. You know, you use that warm water to squeeze from, back to front. So I did use that, but I do have one here. This is the one that I got for home. And I got this off of Amazon, and it'll be linked in my Amazon store. You will see it. I think I paid like maybe $7 or $8. I like this one because it was different. No, it's not the norm that everybody else get. I like to, you know, be a little different. You don't have to get the same exact one as every video, but I did get this one and I use it here and I still use it. You know, it's good feminine care, feminine hygiene. So I'm not going to just use this because I had a baby. I'm going to keep using it every time I'm in the shower. I use my peri bottle. And it does wonders. So it was a good investment that I'm going to continue to use. And also, when you have a C-section, a lot of times you will have a hard time going number 2. I don't think I experienced it having vaginal births, but I did experience it in my last C-section and the one before that. So in the hospital, they give you a stool softener and milk of magnesia, all types of stuff to help you use the restroom. So I made sure that when I came home, I had some milk of magnesia. This is the knockoff brand, of course, the CVS brand. But I did have milk of magnesia, and I purchased some stool softeners just to help me continue to go to the bathroom, because when I had my C-section with my 6th child, is she number 6? Yeah, my 6th daughter. They didn't explain to me about bowel movement. So me just used to having vaginal births. So I went home and tried to go to the bathroom, and I was pushing to the point where I caused myself to have a hernia. So it wasn't painful. It just felt like a carrot was inside of my stomach, and I didn't understand, like, where did this carrot come from? And it was a hernia. So I learned from that, and I made sure I had my stool softener and my milk of magnesia. Also, they sent me home with ibuprofen for your pain and tons of, well, I got Percocet, and I had 20. I still have like a whole lot because I only took it for the pain. And like once I was home in my own comfort zone, I was able to thug the pain out way better than being in the hospital. So, and again, I'm not really a medicine type person, so I didn't really use a lot of the Percocet, but I did have it just in case. And some things they don't tell you about your postpartum. A lot of people experience numbness right above their incision, like on their stomach area. No one tells you this. This is the first time I've ever experienced this. Again, this is my 2nd C-section. I did not go through this the first one. So right above where my incision is, but not on the cut, but like where my stomach is, I have no feeling whatsoever. You could be sticking me with a needle and I would not know. I cannot feel anything like below my belly button. I don't feel nothing, like nothing at all. I can't feel if anything is hot or cold there. You could be pinching me, I won't know. And when I went to my doctor's for my postpartum visit, she told me that that's normal and it's a side effect from the epidural and from the cut. Not just the epidural, but from the cut. A lot of the nerves may be damaged and it takes time for the nerves to repair themselves. And she said that she didn't have feeling there for about a year. So, I mean, that's another thing no one tell you. And this is where the TMI come in, and I'm going to tell you now. Some of the things, well, a few of the things they do not tell you, tell you about when giving birth and having a cesarean is that, here's the TMI, by the way, that your blood stinks. And somebody might be like, well, duh, I would think so, duh. No, it's not a duh, because it smells totally different than cycle period, you know. And I mean, I don't have stinky period, so I don't know, you know, but when you give birth, it's like a smell of, like, and don't laugh, but this is the best way I can explain it, like raw chicken and like blood or something. I don't know, but it stinks. It's not like the normal period blood. It stinks. And that's one thing they don't tell you. And then the other thing they don't tell you, especially when you're having a cesarean, is that your C-section scar stinks like shit. Excuse my French. It stinks. No one prepares you for that. No one tells you that. Nobody talks about it. I know I'm not the only one. If you know what I'm talking about, or you know someone, drop it in the comments below and put a 100 there if you know I'm keeping it real with you. It stinks. That C-section scar stinks, okay? First of all, when you get a cesarean, and you're patched up after the operation, the actual incision has band-aids on it, and then over top of the actual band-aids is like a big bandage, like a white gauze type bandage that goes over a covering. It goes over the initial incision. It's a covering, and when you're in the hospital, you can't wet it. But when you're about to get discharged, or that last day or the next day, they will say you can take the covering off, and when you shower, you can let the water run over the covering, run over the bandages, but you cannot scrub it because of course it's still bandages there and you're still closing up. And it stinks. You can dry, you can do, and listen, I dried like crazy with the towel, but you got to keep in mind, there is band-aids over your incision. There is no way you can get in between the band-aids and in between your skin and the band-aids to dry it out. So just imagine that smell of inside that's trying to heal and close, and water. Like, it stinks. And it doesn't stop there. Because once you go, first of all, when you get home and you're showering, you still have to deal with that smell. And I'd say by like, maybe if you're like me, I take multiple showers and I like to like use my little soaps. I have a little regimen that I do in the shower. Those bandages, when they start to try to like they'll roll off a little bit, but they won't come completely off. It stinks. You're gonna itch a little bit, because I itch a little bit. It stinks. It stinks bad. And then the parts where the band-aid doesn't even stick anymore, I tried to, dab it dry. It stinks. No matter what you do, it stinks. And then there's more. When you get to your 4-week or your 6-week postpartum, however your doctors do it, and they take the bandage completely off, it stinks, okay? It stinks. It smells. It does not mean you're dirty. It stinks. Now, so if it's oozing and have a smell and everything, then you may have an infection. But if you're not oozing and everything and it just smells, it's 9 times out of 10 normal. I had to ask my doctor, like, yo, like, what's going on? And she was like, oh, it's normal. Prepare yourself. No matter how much you scrub, you're going to have that smell for the next couple weeks after this postpartum checkup. Okay. So I am, like I said, I am 1 month postpartum in a week, and yes, I still smell the smell. It's not as strong, but I found a way to get it under control. Here it is, ladies. Mind you, no matter how much you dry down there, because you just had a baby, and if you just had it like a cesarean, that piece of skin where your gut was is still kind of going to shadow over that incision. That is what traps the moisture in. Even you can dry all day, dry it off all night. That is what traps the moisture in, okay? So what I learned to do was, after I towel dry it real good, lift the little bit of stomach up and dry it real good. I use a blow dryer on the cool setting. I put it on low and I put it on the cool setting to really dry it out. And I did use a little bit of alcohol on it just to, keep it clean. And I dry it out. And that has helped tremendously. Do I still smell it a little bit? Yes. It's not as bad as it was. And the smell, let me tell you what it reminds you of. If you have earrings in your ear that are fake and you had them in for a while and you rub your earlobe and smell it, that's what it smells like. And that is not a pleasant smell to have above your poom poom. Okay? Poom poom should smell like pineapples and your stomach should smell good too. Okay? So no one prepares you for that. I don't see anybody talking about how that crap stinks, but I'm here to tell you, I'm gonna keep it 100. It stinks, okay? And it is normal. It don't make you dirty. It is normal. Now, if you are fortunate and you have a cesarean and you don't have no stomach afterwards, then 9 times out of 10 you will not even have this problem. But me, I'm a thick girl. I do have this much of gut that hangs over a little bit over top of my scar because my stomach is still going down. So I battle with it, but I am telling you, it is normal. As long as you're not oozing or pussing, and if your incision is closed, you're good to go. My incision is closed. I have a picture of it. I'm going to insert it where you can see it. Again, this is my second C-section, and I usually heal pretty good. After my first cesarean, I had a scar that you didn't even notice was there. And I'm expecting the same. I expect my skin to heal the same this go round. So those are things that nobody tell you about. I'm here to tell you, I'm going to keep it a bean. Brace yourself. It's normal, but there's a trick. Get that blow dryer, boo. A little bit of alcohol, just to dab it on there and blow dry it with that cool setting, boo. Girl, you in there like swimwear. I done put you on to something. Thank me later. Hit my Cash App, Ginger Marie 1, because I done hooked you up. Send a quarter if it worked for you. Just 25 cents. That's all I'm asking for. Or wait, they don't do cents. Send $1, whatever. It don't even matter, because I done hooked you up. I done put you on the game. But that's pretty much it for my postpartum. These are my garments. This is everything I have. Again, I'm going to show you where I put my items at. I do not keep them in this. This is just what I put in here for this video. I'm going to show you my little postpartum area in my bathroom. All of my postpartum essentials. When I go to the bathroom, everything is here. My Perry bottles. My other one. All of my things are in here. And Vaseline, and those. Everything I need is in this drawer. I hope you enjoyed this video. Click the like button. If you don't like it, say, hey, I didn't like it. Give me a thumbs up or a thumbs down. Just keep it a bean with me. It's all good. Leave a comment below and please subscribe to my channel. I really appreciate it. I'm trying to do my thing on here and it's not easy. So please click the subscribe button and share this, okay? And as always, it's a wonderful day in the Ginger Hood, but it's Ginger's way. Bye.